dubious. Been a few days since I uploaded a video, so I'm going to do one today and answer some of your questions. The tubiest, the best YouTube subscribers on the planet. That's you. And I'm 50 plus, and I'm in Oklahoma, and it's about 800 degrees. So I'm gonna leave the truck running today. I hope the rumbling of the truck engine does not disturb this video. Hope you guys can hear me well. So I'm gonna answer a couple of questions. The first one, he wants to know about both these questions are from my previous company, Swifty. He wanted to know if Swift hired drivers that they don't have any work history, and you know, I'm not really the one to answer that, because you're about to get that true answer from a recruiter. But what I will say is there's been several people who I've recommended and tried to recruit over there that had large gaps in their work history or done, and they weren't able to get on. It doesn't mean that you can't get done at any other company. It don't even mean that you can't get done at Swift. I guess they're going to review that case by case, but that work history is a DOT thing. It's not actually a Swift thing or a company thing. It's a DOT thing, but there may be some ways around it, because you know it gets done. So don't give up. Okay. How long are you out? After it says how long out of Swift Academy with a mentor before? Oh God, that's not worded very well at all. Anyways, the question is, how long are you out with your mentor? That's what, and the answer is 200 hours. If in 200 hours you are ready, but 200 hours is what's going to happen. So what will happen is you'll go to the Swift Academy. After you're done with Swift Academy, you pick your orientation day. If you're not orientated during the class, which is about, I think all of them are doing that now, so you don't have to go to orientation, I don't think. I did when I went through, but they've since changed that. But you'll get done with the class. You'll ideally go get your license turned back from permit to an actual license, and then you'll go out with a mentor. And it's about 200 hours. Well, not about 200 hours. It is 200 hours, but about 5 weeks or so, depending on the mentor and what his route was. Okay, my students were with me about 3.5 weeks. You know, but I run hard. I run every day, so I don't take a bunch of time off. And when the students are on my truck, I don't take home time and stuff like that. Those things will extend the amount of time that you're going to spend on the mentor's truck. And by the way, if you have a mentor and you're not, you know, and you're just not a good fit with that mentor, you know, don't just you know, be in a position where you're not comfortable or you're not learning anything. Okay, there's going to be certain level of discomfort. Okay, so you're not going to get on a mentor's truck and then this being some, you know, utopia. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You're getting on a truck with somebody you don't know, and you're going to be in this small confined space just about all the time with this person. And you know, sometimes, you know, things don't mesh. You know, you might want to take a shower every day, and you might want to take one, you know, once a month. I don't know, but there are some things that may not, you know, that may clash. And if so, speak up. Don't just, you know, stay in an environment that that you're not happy with. Okay. Let's see. So we were talking about showering. Okay, I'm just going to get to the ghost on that one. This is another question from another subscriber, and they were talking about the frequency in showers, and it becomes quite a bit more frequent with flatbed. That question derived from me speaking on points with the cards that you get when you go to TAs, Petros, Loves, Pilot, and all them, Flying J and all them. So you get these little reward cards, and what happens is you're going to fill up or get fuel, whatever, and that leaving at Loves. So man, if you buy something, go inside and you buy something, you use your card, and you get points put back on this little card, and these points add up, and then you can redeem those points when you go to go purchase something. Okay, I think it's you get like 1 cent for each dollar or gallon of fuel or something. I'm not exactly sure, and they vary too. Okay, and it also varies on what level you're on. Okay, and when you get a certain amount of fuel points on here, or frequency in fuel purchases, you will also get shower credits. Okay, and again, they vary. It depends on where you go, and it depends on what status you are. And when I say where you go, I mean if it's a Petro or a TA or a Pilot or whatever, they have their own rules, on showers. And you can get a free shower depending on the cards. Okay, I frequent Loves, and I frequent Loves because Melton has this little deal with Loves right now where all of Melton's drivers are diamond level with Loves, which is cool because diamond means you have unlimited showers at Loves, so you don't have to pay. So I just get on my app, and it shows diamond status on my account, and I just use the app and get a shower. So I can shower every day. I just have to keep parking at a Loves. So the conversation got towards parking, and at the park early. First off, early is good for showers, okay? But early is really good for at Loves, because Loves typically don't have real big parking lots. They're starting to expand. I think they're buying some land around their stores or whatever, and dragging out the parking lots a little bit. So you can get some Loves now with some pretty good parking. But flatbed, well, Melton's trailers for sure, and most flatbed are spread axles in the back. Okay, and backing a spread axle is a total different situation than duals when they're close together. The pivot of the trailer going back into the hole is wider with a spread than it is with duals, and so you need some space to make these turns and get into the holes properly. So if you're considering doing flatbed, don't let that deter you, because you just find a spot where there's two spots open, and then you can easily get in there. Or like I had to today, I did have to back in between two trucks, but I've been driving enough and I've been backing enough. I have no problem backing between two trucks. I just don't like doing it, but I will, and I did. Okay, but getting here as early as you possibly can with a flatbed with spread axles is key, because you can, number one, you can get it close to the buildings you had to walk for to go to the shower, and number two, parking is a lot easier, and you make it happen. But I choose Love's because, you know, I go get a free shower with those Love points on that little card, on the you know, on the little points card. So if I had to go to a TA or a pilot or somewhere right now, I know I got 0 points because I hadn't fueled anywhere. I fueled at a TA like a week or so ago, and that was because I was just getting low, and I didn't want to get down to a point where, you know, I was in trouble. So I just went ahead and then I slept there. So, you know, but other than that, it's been all Loves because I keep piling those points up. You know, I think I got like $160 or something like that in Love points. So I can actually go inside and spend $160 on that card. You know, so it's worth it. Let me see if I can find one more question, a good one. I had a guy who commented on a video that was a fairly old one, and he was commenting on the Volvo. I did a video on the Volvo trucks, and I was talking about the ones that Swift had to turn off, and they all do that. And this person was reminding me that's a company setting, and it's not a setting from the factory. I'm glad he told me that, because I didn't know that. But that wasn't what I was saying. In the video, I was saying that the trucks, after a period of time of idling, they will shut off. You know, they start binging at you and shut off. And yes, companies set that up. But there are some trucks that has a bypass for it. You know, sometimes it's in a cruise control. You can manipulate devices to make the truck stay idling and not shut off. However, with the later model Volvos, it just didn't happen. You know, on the truck that I had, the Volvo that I had, myself and a friend of mine, we got a computer, went into the system in that truck and manipulated it so that it will stay running. Okay, but that was a computer thing. It was not a you know, cruise control manipulation kind of thing that's a common issue, but because the Volvos didn't do it. And so if you got a new Volvo and you know how to manipulate the new Volvos to make them stay idling, basically bypass the company setting, put it down there. Somebody might be able to use that information. I don't drive Volvos anymore. You know, I mean, I like it. But don't get me wrong. That truck was a really, really nice ride. And the turning radius, yeah, that truck turned on the dime. That was a dream to park. Okay, but I'm here with Melton, and we drive we have T680s, Kenworth T680s, but they have gone real heavy on Freightliners. And I'll be honest with you, I like Freightliners, and the ones that Melton has are upgraded than the ones that the other company I was with. So the ones that Melton are pretty, they're nicer. Okay, they have more amenities in them, and they got the dump and everything in it for the suspension. By the way, if any of you guys want to consider flatbed, you can come to Melton. And if you are an experienced driver, listen, if you've been driving, you know, a year, for sure, if you've been driving a year and you want to get into flatbed, there's a link down below. Click that link, let somebody get in contact with you. The best thing they can do is at least give you some information. Even if you decide, nah, I ain't gonna do that, you can at least get some information, because I can tell you right now, I bucked the system when it came to leaving a company, a starter up a company, like a company after you went and got your CDL through, you know. I bucked that idea of doing your year and moving on, and I bucked it because the Swift, the company that I was with, that's actually a good company. Okay, I know people crap on them all day long. You know, believe what you want, but I had no qualms with that company. They really could be. The difference though is you leave a lot on the table, because after you hit a year, you will be surprised what companies will pay you as an experienced driver to come drive for them, and you don't get that bump in pay as you stay there. You know, you don't get longevity pay. It you know, it just don't come that easy. There are some other quirks with that other company that I was with, you know, that you don't get here, like bonuses that are pretty nice. Okay, quarterly bonuses, they're good over there. Okay, but as a per mile driver, after a year, you would be surprised what you can get. You know, in fact, I have a guy who I know very well, and he left that company and he came over here. He is now, I just talked to him earlier today. He told me that he drove 1,000 miles less with driving here in Melton. He drove 1,000 miles less and still made the same money. So you know, as I go through my journey of this trucking thing, there are some things that I learned that I want to, you know, pass along with you guys. Test the waters, okay? Just test them. Just throw a little lifeline. Just throw a little raft out there and see what, you know, throw a net. Drag it back in and see what you come up with. Just ask, hey, you know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Hey, you know, I've been driving for, you know, 6 months. I've been driving for 9 months. I've been driving for a year. You know, whatever your situation is. Just send a message. You know, if you use that little link down there, just reach out to Melton and find out, you know, the difference between what you're doing right now, what you get right now, and what you could be. You know, it might work for you, may not. And you know, if you are not not interested in flatbed, I would reach out, man. And just what's the worst can happen if you reach out to somebody? All they can do is tell you no or yes, or you know, yeah, you get 41 cents a mile, we'll pay you 42 cents. That ain't worth leaving, you know. But what if somebody said, oh, you get 41 cents, we pay it, you know, 53? I mean, make sure that they got the freight. You know, make sure that they can actually keep you moving. That's especially right now, especially. Because, yeah, you know, freight is, I believe, is picking up. You know, I can kind of tell by the amount of moving trucks on the road. And, you know, the truck stops are pretty much empty, you know, doing driving hours. When, you know, a couple of months ago, you pull into a truck stop in the middle of the day and build a bunch of trucks there still. You know, guys looking for freight or whatever. You know, it was not good, but it is coming around. So, if you guys want to get out here, come on. You know, and if you want to test the waters, I would ask you to at least throw that net out there, see what you can come up with. Test the waters. If you're an experienced driver, test the waters. You would just be surprised what's out there, and get what you deserve to get. Okay. Again, I want to reiterate this. Just because you're at a mega carrier doesn't mean you're at a bad place, and it doesn't mean that you aren't going to make good money. I made a bunch of money working at Swift in my first year. And I can tell you that if you stayed there, you're gonna do, if you drive, you actually work, you should get somewhere between 50 and 65,000 your first year. I mean, if you humped it, okay? If you're a moderately working person, you're probably going to do somewhere between 35 and 45. That's just being straight, okay? But if you busting it, and if you running, and you ain't home every freaking other week or something, I mean, you actually running, you know, driving your clock out, busting them loads out, you can actually do really good in a mega carrier, okay? So don't, and people go, oh, 60,000, that's nothing. The average income in America is not 60,000. So if you're making 60,000, you're above average, okay? Way above average. And don't let anybody talk you out of that. They're just being silly, okay? Anyways, I think that's enough. We've been on here for a little while. I'm going to upload this one. And hopefully I'll have time to make another for you tomorrow, okay? I appreciate you. Until I see you again, deliver undistracted, and here's your book.